Hope you are having a great Michigan football mustache Monday. And if you are, and you feel like you want to even have a better time, you should be following me on Twitter. Also, congratulations to me. Just voted the #1 Twitter account for Michigan football fans in the world as of 2021. Some people might say, James, isn't the voting committee your mom? Nevertheless, she voted and it counts. I'm not going to have any of you stop the steal or stop the count people call me out in this one. Votes count. And as such, you should be following me. It's at James Yoder on Twitter. I put it down in the comments. I'll put it also down in the description. We're having a little fun on YouTube with that. We have a little fun on Twitter. So make sure to follow me at James Yoder. I've got Michigan football coaching grades and team offense, defense. Let's start with Jim Harbaugh. I'm giving Michigan's 7th-year head coach a B grade against Penn State on Saturday. Look, he went on the road and he got a win against a top 25 team in the AP, a game that he was only favored by 1.5 points at the time of kickoff. And the first time against a ranked opponent, at least in the AP poll, that he's come back, went down in the fourth quarter, and got the win. So with that, I'm giving him a B. But I want to ask you guys what your grade is for Michigan's head football coach, Jim Harbaugh. A, B, C, D, or F. You saw and heard that I gave him a B. Go down in the comments. I will pin this comment right below the video, the top comment that you will see. This might be part of the video where you get hit with the YouTube ad break. If so, scroll down. Make sure you comment on that. Scroll back up. We'll give you something to do. Ad plays. You'll be back rolling with the show. Josh Gattis got a C grade for me in this ball game. Win against Penn State. And somebody might be saying, James, that's really harsh. That's not really that's not fair to Josh Gattis. I think it's absolutely fair because he might have been trending towards a D- or an F had Michigan not hit the Erick All on that left to right tight end drag, underneath drag for All that scored the touchdown that put Michigan ahead 21-17. And a couple nice runs by Hassan Haskins down the stretch to run the clock out. They put up 361 yards of offense. Okay, cool. 21 points. But you only scored 7 in the first half. You scored a touchdown right out of the gate in the third quarter. So had 14 with about 11 minutes or so left in the third quarter. And then just went the same like you seem to see against Nebraska, against Michigan State. All the different struggles in 2019, 2020. They just don't put teams away. And they go on long stretches, 3, 4, 5 drives in a row with nothing happening on offense. Josh Gattis' offense, as we see now, it's not going to beat Ohio State. Even if they're up by 20 against Ohio State, I'm going to have trouble even celebrating it all because I know that Ohio State is going to be able to score and Gattis' offense, maybe they won't be. If you beat Ohio State, it's probably going to be through the defensive side of thing, and that all comes down to Mike Macdonald, who I'm giving a B+ grade. Now, he was trending toward an AA+, right? Kept Penn State, really stopped him several opportunities throughout that game when they had a chance to take advantage of some things they did well. The fake punt that they got, Michigan eventually stopped them. The Cade McNamara fumble where Penn State could have scored a touchdown held them to a field goal there. So holding Penn State to 17 points, that's a good, solid outing. He shut down Jahan Dotson, the #1 player for Penn State, and then they let their 2 superstar defensive ends, David Ojabo and Aidan Hutchinson, just go to work and absolutely disrupt. 5 sacks between the two of them, 7 sacks for the team. Absolutely disrupt what Sean Clifford and the Penn State offense wanted to do in this offense. So those are your grades for the head coach, the offensive coordinator, and the defensive coordinator. Now, I want to tell you guys about the deal that we mentioned on Sunday. If you didn't see it, that's fine. It's still going on. Because Michigan got the win against Penn State, top 6 in the college football playoff, top 25 going into the Ohio State game, we are going to be able to bring back the BetUS Sportsbook Partner jersey deal. So go get started with BetUS. You've got to use the link in the bottom of the screen. So screenshot this, do whatever you want. 125% deposit bonus when you use promo code GOBLUE. But then it gets even better. All right. Use the link. You see on the screen, we made this nice graphic for you. Go ahead and screenshot this if you want. All right. So yeah, go to the link. Use the promo code GOBLUE when you sign up and deposit at least $100. You can do more and get more of a deposit bonus, 125%, up to $500. But then email us jersey@chatsports.com. Okay. What do you do to get this jersey? We're fulfilling the jersey, so don't go call them BetUS. Get go with them and then say jersey@chatsports.com. We'll ask you for some info. You can send it to us in advance, your account number. You've got to make at least one bet by the end of the 2 Saturdays from now against Ohio State. Make your first bet. We will be able to hook you up with a jersey@chatsports.com to redeem. We'll get your account number, your size, etc., and get one shipped off to you. Michigan football Jordan brand jersey. Chat Sports, Bet US. Get hooked up this holiday season. Let's go through the grades on offense for these Wolverines. Cade McNamara took every snap at the quarterback position. We didn't see anything from J.J. McCarthy, but I'm giving Cade a B-, 19 of 29 on the day. About 66% of his passes were completed. 217 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. James, that's too harsh for grade. B-. They won the game, etc. Same thing. 7 touchdowns, an absolute brutal first quarter, right? Didn't exist in the first quarter. 7 points in the second quarter. Scored in the third quarter, trending up, right? And then he went basically 20 minutes or so of real game time and probably about 50 minutes of real lifetime of doing nothing when he had a chance to make a potentially game-changing play, hitting Hassan Haskins in the underneath route on 3rd and 4. He put it behind Haskins at waist level. Haskins had to go down. His knee hit. Michigan didn't get the first down, kept Penn State in the game. So with that, I am giving Cade McNamara, as you see on the screen, folks, I'm giving him a B- grade. Join us tomorrow night, college football playoff rankings. Chat Sports, the parent brand of the Michigan Football Report, will be bringing you every single ranking as it happens. The rankings reveal. We get them the same time as ESPN, etc. So go down to the link you see at the bottom of the screen. It's in the comments. It's also in the description of today's video. Chat Sports YouTube channel. I'll be co-hosting with Harrison Graham, 6:45 p.m. Eastern. We will have the top 25 rankings revealed live on YouTube, so make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Let's keep it rolling with the grades for the running backs. And how can you give Hassan Haskins anything less than an A? Hell, had he gotten a single touchdown, he may have gotten, and probably would have gotten, an A+, but the man was absolute beast. He was everywhere against Penn State. 31 carries. I haven't seen carry numbers like that since Mike Hart, not Mike Hart, yeah, Mike Hart a little bit, but Chris Perry back in like 2002, 2003 when he ran 51 times against Michigan State. 31 carries is a lot these days in college football, especially for a team like Michigan that has consistently divvied up carries either on the good side or the bad side. I think 2020, a lot of it was bad divvying up, but this year seemed to be pretty dang good. Haskins also had 5 catches for 45 yards on the day. He has a couple years of eligibility left, right? So I want to ask you guys this question. You might see, like, Hassan Haskins, he was here in 2018, freshman, 2019, 2020, 2021. That's 4 years. But he redshirted in 18. 2020 doesn't count against his eligibility. So Hassan Haskins, technically, as crazy as it sounds, he has 2 more years. He could technically come back to Michigan. But where will he play next season? 2022. I think it's the NFL. I think he's had a good enough season where he will get drafted right now, and with the amount of carries, a running back's body, all that good stuff, that he doesn't have a long shelf life of a career. He doesn't want to maybe come back for Michigan for a 5th, and certainly maybe not a 6th year. So type below in the comments. Want to get what you guys are thinking. See who has the right prediction here. Michigan or the NFL. Type M if it's Michigan, N if it's the NFL. Let me know down in the comments where Hassan Haskins will play in 2022. Wide receivers get a B grade on the day. And, it's probably because because of the 2 touchdown passes that were caught by Roman Wilson. So let's take a look at the wide receiving numbers. And you see you got a couple touchdowns from Wilson there. You've got a touchdown from Erick All. But when your top 2 receivers are actually Hassan Haskins, running back, and Erick All, tight end, I can't give the receivers an A grade. I really can't. Frankly, if it wasn't for the 2 touchdowns from Roman Wilson, they may have got a CC+. But Cornelius Johnson, 3 catches, 31 yards for Roman Wilson, plus those 2 touchdowns, and Mike Sainer still added 2 catches that really didn't amount to anything. Andrew Anthony also had a 1 catch for 13 yards. So I'm giving a B to the wide receivers. Offensive line, B-. Why am I giving them a B-? They gave up a sack to Cade McNamara when it counted, and Michigan fumbled the ball. They also didn't get push when they absolutely needed to at certain times on 3rd down and short, and then that 4th down towards the end of the second quarter. And they had 4 false start penalties in the first 2.5 quarters, kind of first half and into the middle of the third quarter, plus a holding play or two out of the offensive line. At a decent game, but certainly not their best. And frankly, folks, the offensive line must be an A+ to beat Ohio State. You're going to have to get push. As much as Ohio State passes the ball, typically the team that rushes the ball will do better in that game, right? Ohio State will have Travion Henderson, right? He looks like a Maurice Clarett, but bigger at this point in his college football career. Maybe an Adrian Peterson. And if they can pass the ball like they have in Michigan for the past few years, they're going to add that running game. They're just going to sit there in the third quarter, fourth quarter, just chalk on yards of rushing. So that offensive line must be an A+ to beat Ohio State. Erick All made the play of the day for Michigan. 40-plus yard touchdown pass, a little 5-yard drag across the front of the line, going left to right. And if Michigan beats Ohio State, if they win the Big Ten, if they make the college football playoff for the first time ever, we're going to look back on that play as the play that saved Michigan's season. Erick All, 4 catches, 64 yards, and his first touchdown at Michigan. What a game. What a play when it counted. He missed last week's game. Luke Schoonmaker stepped up and had 2 touchdowns, all returns from injury, and makes the perfect play at the perfect time to get a win on the road against Penn State. I'm pumped up, folks. It's 2 days later. I'm still pumped up against that win. Like the video. We did it. You guys did what we asked. We said, hey, it worked against Wisconsin. It worked against Nebraska. We all like the video. We're going to beat Penn State. It's karma. It works. Thank you for doing it. So why not keep doing it, right? Just like the video. Michigan's going to keep winning. That's all I have to say about it. If you missed the box score in the game against Penn State on Saturday, Cade McNamara, you see his stats down there on the screen, 3 touchdowns. Erick All with that 1 touchdown. Also on that game, Roman Wilson added 2 touchdown catches, but only 3 catches for 31 yards. Hassan Haskins, he was the story of the day for me. 31 carries, 156, plus added 5 catches. 5 catches for 45 yards. Yep, that's right, for Cade McNamara. So let's go really quick through the defense. I'll give you all the grades for the defense at once, and then we'll talk a little bit about, real frankly, the linebackers. I'm sorry, the defensive line and the play out of Aidan Hutchinson and David Ojabo. A+ for the defensive line, B+ for the linebackers, A for the secondary. Kickers and punters, right? Sure, we'll give them an A because, thankfully, they didn't have to do much today. And maybe that's why I gave them a nice grade. Punter did a pretty good job putting the ball down deep. Michigan couldn't do a good job of stopping it before we're into the end zone. Kickoff, kick return, nothing really going on there, just kind of an average day, whatever. I'll give them a C. Maybe that's being generous there. But let's talk about Hutchinson. Ojabo. If you've seen the last couple shows, we've used this graphic, but I love it. This is their combined stats. 5 sacks, 2 quarterback hits, 2 forced fumbles, 4 tackles for loss, and 11 tackles against Penn State. They made this man's life miserable. I could not believe that Sean Clifford was in the game in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter, after the amount of hits these 2 players were just laying on him throughout the game. Michigan had 7 sacks in the day. Sometimes in the NFL, it's like, oh, this team had 7 sacks, 8 sacks. Sometimes players have 5 sacks. It's not as easy to get as college football. I don't know why players just don't have 5, 6 sack games like they do sometimes in the NFL. Sean Clifford, good for you, young man. You kept your head up. You stayed in the game when a lesser man may have just limped off to the sideline, didn't want any more to do with Michigan's legendary defensive end duo. Next up, though, something that people aren't really talking about is the emergence of Junior Colson. He is now a full-time starting linebacker, right? He is what replaced Nikhai Hill-Green. He's in there basically all the time. He's starting. He's playing throughout the game. Sometimes they substitute him out in nickel and dime packages, bringing Mike Barrett and only leaving Josh Ross from a linebacker perspective, and really give opportunities for the defensive line to have either hand down or to stand up, Hutchinson, Ojabo. But nevertheless, Junior Colson is making plays. Folks, I believe Junior Colson, from all I've seen from this so far this year, and the day he had Saturday against Penn State, I am calling him a future star. I can't wait to see what he does throughout the next couple years or more, depending on how his career goes at Michigan. He's just locked in at starter for linebacker for at least the next 2 seasons after this one. As a true freshman at that linebacker position, I am loving what I am seeing. But I remind you guys, I asked you at the top of the show to follow me on Twitter. Voted #1, little asterisk, doesn't matter who the voting committee is. Voted #1 Twitter account for Michigan football fans 2021. So pat myself in the back. Congrats. Bow. Appreciate all the voters. And join the fun if you want to get the best Michigan football coverage on Twitter. It's at James Yoder. Take a look at the stats from this game. Michigan 361 yard advantage over Penn State who had 332. Passing yards, Penn State had a few more, 223. Michigan won the running battle, 144 to 109. A turnover for each team in this one fumble each, and then Michigan gets the win. Erick All touchdown with back end of the fourth quarter for Michigan to get the win, 21 to 17. Jahan Dotson is one of the best wide receivers in the country. Now about 1,000 yards receiving, 80 catches for the year. He was limited, had a lot of catches, but they didn't go for a ton of yards, and they tried to go deep to him, tried to get him open down the field several times, couldn't get it done, only averaging 6.8 yards per carry. No touchdowns for the All-American wide receiver, who will probably be a top 20 pick in the upcoming NFL draft. So big-time performance from him. Kickers, punters, kickoffs, kick returns, a lucky game for Michigan in which we don't have to really talk about that at all. I thought the punters, no kickoff, no kicks for Michigan from field goal. Some good kickoffs, and the punts landed several inside the 10-yard line. Michigan did recover one of them. Another one went into the end zone. Kickoff return, punt return, nothing really happened this year since Ronnie Bell went down and Blake Corum isn't playing. He was a little effective earlier in the year. Nevertheless, C grade for those positions. All right, before we end the show, I want to make sure you guys know you can subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done that here before, if you just watch us on YouTube when you come across us, subscribe to the channel, turn those notifications on your phone. You will get an alert every time we do a video. The Michigan Football Report publishes during the season a new video every single day. So we'll have so much content coming up for you all this week, focusing on little Maryland, but some Ohio State too. And then it is Ohio State-Apalooza the following week. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/Michigan TV. I'll be back with more news and rumors on this program tomorrow. Go Blue.